Okay, now welcome to Moments with Maxine. And as usual, you never know what to expect apart from today. We are in Chelmsford in Essex. And as you can see, it's been snowing and it's freezing. But today's episode, we are going to be interviewing Marlo Morris and pretty much seeing from the pit to the palace, that's what I call it. Somebody that's inspirational, they've had an interest in life, and we are at one of his venues, which is called Legacy Lounge. And it's quite a, well, I'm going to find out more, so you might as well come and join me. Come on, let's go. Good to be in here out the cold. Nice and warm in here in Legacy Lounge. You know what? Let's go and find Marlo. Marlo!
Hi Maxine, how are you doing?
Oh!
How are you doing, Maxine?
Good to see you.
Thank you for coming. Thank
you for having me.
You're welcome.
Great place.
Thank you. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me here. You've got a great place and I'm excited.
Thank you
No, seriously, I've been watching you on social media, seeing the different things that you're bringing into the community, just bringing into, I see you travelling all over the place, but I'm going to find out a lot more about you shortly. And I'm sure there's loads of people that want to find out more about you, Marlo. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up.
Okay, I was born in London, Hackney, East London.
Okay.
2 sisters and a brother, mum and dad.
Lovely.
My dad and mum thought it would be good for us to have education in the Caribbean because of the results that you get, especially in high school.
Sure.
So we moved to Jamaica in the Caribbean.
How long was you out there for anyway?
I was there for about 6 years. 6 years, so right through our high school time, we were in the Caribbean, Jamaica.
Okay, and how long before you came back over to London?
So, as I said, we did 6 years over there, and I came back came back when I was about 12, 13.
Okay, now as a teenager in London, we know that things can be quite challenging.
100%.
Yeah. So tell us, what was life like as a teenager? Because I'm sure that people will understand why I'm asking you these questions.
Okay, well, coming from Jamaica, as a young person in Jamaica, you mature
a lot quicker.
Yeah. And you don't notice that until you come back to London.
Sure.
And you compare yourselves amongst your peers.
Sure.
And the things I was exposed to in Jamaica, they weren't exposed to here in the UK.
Makes sense.
And vice versa. The things that they were exposed to, I wasn't exposed to. So, for example, not having that respect for your parents. A lot of my peers, my school peers, didn't have that. So they were able to come and go as they pleased. That was a culture shock to me, yeah? Whereas school, academia, the stuff that I knew in the first, second year, they were doing in the sixth form.
I'm with you. So you
like
were...
my periodic table, I knew that off by heart in the first year. And the sixth formers didn't even know that. You know what I mean? So there was a clash. There was a culture shock on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, which caused for me to have a lot of challenges. You know what I'm saying? Especially with my dad, being that he was a family man and a man of
He's
principles.
A great inspiration to you from what I've read, Marlo.
100%.
Really
My dad is. It didn't happen overnight. Our relationship. There was a lot of challenges as a teenager because obviously he had his way of doing things, and I was finding my way.
Of course.
Which
I like the way you smile about that one. That tells me that there was some genuine stuff that took place.
Yeah, we're father and son. We had our clashes. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
As there's a saying in Jamaica: two bull can't live in one
One pen,
pen.
absolutely. My mum told me that.
The younger bull have to find his own pen. Yeah. So.
Okay, cool.
That was a challenge. Yeah.
So I know that as a teenager, you were challenged with other things, because I understand as well that you even spent time even in prison.
Yeah,
and how was that
as a young person, I was making a lot of decisions which had consequences.
Of course.
They were ill-informed, they were bad decisions, and they had consequences to them. And one of the consequences of my actions was going to prison. Not listening to my dad, not listening to people who loved me.
Sure.
Peer pressure, doing a lot of things to fit in.
Of course.
Making bad decisions and choices, which eventually led me into a situation where I was involved in a fight. It was a fight involving my friend I went to assist, and then basically got involved in a fight. As a result, we got arrested, and I ended up in youth custody for a couple of years.
Okay,
3 years to be fair.
How old was you when all of this took place?
I was just turning 16, so from 16, 17, 18, came out about 19, 20. Yeah.
Now, what's beautiful about this whole thing for me, anyway, is that it's nice to see that when you, as a young person, make bad mistakes, it doesn't mean that shaped your whole future.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the end, but by God's grace, my time in custody, I was actually favoured by the governor of the prison at the time, who showed me a lot of favour, and that was just because I was diligent in working. I was working. I had no problem in getting up, doing what I had to do in the prison, working. He saw that, and he showed me a lot of favour. And there was a program that he wanted to initiate, and he chose, handpicked some prisoners to pilot that program. And it was a community service program, working in a community with adults with learning difficulties, mentally challenged people. And I was one of those prisoners who were chosen to pilot that program, and that gave me a lot of access outside of the prison, which gave me a lot of favour. So that led me on to working in the community with adults with learning difficulties
and also young people, because I know there's a lot of young people that even I've spoken to in the community. And when we talk about the community, we're talking about North London. Yeah. Am I correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Now, I know that many years ago that I met you on a programme, I think it was in Broadwater Farm, that you were doing a programme down there with the young people. Now, tell us the impact that you've had as a mentor, because you became a mentor when you came out and that type of thing. So.
But that was good. I mean, that experience coming out of prison, leading into working with adults with learning difficulties, mentally challenged, autistic young people, and then finally young people in the criminal justice system. I started to do outreach work, mentoring work, working in residential units with young people that are in the system but needed accommodation and care provision. And I linked up with a lot of organisations who were doing work in the community, and we would target some of these estates that had issues. I mean,
of course,
gang issues, they'd have drug issues. And Broadwater Farm was one of them. Grew up on the farm, knew, especially with the riots that happened in the early 80s.
Sure.
We had, with the legacy of that meant that we were disadvantaged, especially we were targeted by the police. There weren't that job opportunities there. The housing was very poor. I'm saying the education was poor. So it affected a lot of the young people. A lot of young people coming up, the choices weren't there. So
and was that just with dysfunctional family? What the system calls dysfunctional families? Would you say, or was it just with all?
It was across the board generically.
Good.
I mean, white, black, Chinese, Greek. It didn't matter.
Good.
We were all one. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
But working, coming out of that, and then God giving me that opportunity through prison and getting a paradigm shift, I was able to give back through youth services, outreach, and programs and projects that will support young people coming out of that system, making that transition, but don't know how to access,
That's it.
you know, their purpose and their, and,
Sure,
you know, what they
sure.
want, their God's gift.
Sure,
You
sure.
see?
Well, I mean, we are going to take a break shortly, but it's really important that you guys do not go away because, Mano, that was you then,
Yes.
yeah? But we're going to find out about what you are about now,
Okay.
which is incredible. And I'm excited, so do not go away as we will be right back with Marlo Morris. We'll see you shortly. Hello and welcome back to Moments with Maxine. And yes, you are watching Maxine and she is here today with Marlo Morris. And I would definitely like to say from the pit to the palace for Marlo Morris, an awesome guy. And let's continue with what we were talking about. Now, let's go over to Marlo. Hi Marlo, how are you again?
I'm well, Maxine. Thank you for having me.
No, it's been incredible, and I'm so excited about you, if I'm honest. Now, we heard a lot about your, earlier on in the program, we heard a lot about you as a youth growing up, the fact that, you know, you went to prison, you're coming from Jamaica, come to London, just learning about your new environment, and anyway, people will have to tune in to find out the rest. But as a grown man now, yeah, but you're a man that has 3 children.
Yeah, 3 daughters, 3 lovely daughters. My daughter was 18 yesterday. Yeah, the other day. Yeah.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
And you're also a man that a man of principle, a man of moral. You've got so much going on. Now, tell me now where you're at. And I know that God has given you many visions. Yeah, but tell the people a little bit about, you know, where you're at and what's been shown to you.
Okay. Well, making that transition from working with young people, I spent 12 years in service to the community, in service working with young people. But I felt like I hit a glass ceiling. There's only so much impact I could do working within a system which had nothing to do with really empowering young people.
Sure.
It was almost as if there was a conveyor belt from the classroom to the prison. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, yeah.
and I saw that.
And this is your experience.
Yeah,
that you,
my experience.
Yeah,
Because I mean, you know, there's only so much you can do by asking for funding, asking for other people to finance your ideas. Yeah?
That's right.
So I said, you know
Nice.
what, I need to make a transition into doing something that I'm passionate about, and I can.
And you're more in control of.
Yeah, I'm in control of, and have more power economically, politically, socially,
Nice.
and you know, just in every way. You know what I mean, holistically. So I made that transition in going into business. And I went into entertainment. That was my first step in doing promotions, events management.
Sure.
I became a licensee and acquired many venues. The last project I had was in Hackney Wick. It's a 3,000 capacity licensed venue, which we renovated. Our staff in any one time was between 50 and 100 people.
Lovely.
You know, it includes security, bar staff, cleaners, sound engineers, promoters.
Sure.
And we basically took a derelict warehouse and renovated and turned it into a multi-purpose community hub. And it was impressive, especially to the local community at the time. We were right near the Olympic Village.
Sure.
The Olympics had just finished, and we basically brought a lot of the artistic community into the community.
Sure.
So I turned into an employer. Yeah,
Nice.
from an employee into an employer.
Lovely.
You know, and it was a multi-purpose venue, and we had events from all over the world. Yeah, from France, from Brazil, from Colombia,
Lovely.
from all over the place. We had events.
Okay, was that your first major project, would you say?
That was my first major project. Yes,
Okay.
it was. And then we opened up a lounge down in North London, Enfield. That was the ICANN Lounge. The venue in Hackney was called ICANN Studios.
Lovely.
We had a church in there, which we would hire out to for a place of worship. We'd do educational programs in there. We used it for funerals, for christenings.
Wow. Okay, so basically you had this venue which was an all-purpose venue.
All-purpose venue. It was beautiful. It was a good experience.
And it's great because obviously you're helping all different cultures.
Aspects of the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, basically community-based. Okay. Now, where we are today, we are in, as I said earlier, we're in Chelmsford in Essex.
Brilliant.
And we're at another one of your venues.
Yes.
Which, is really nice. Thank you.
Thank you
I'm quite impressed with this.
Thank you.
And tell us even the challenges that you've even had with that. So people, and I'm saying this because people, they come and just see that everything's done, but not realising some of the challenges. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, to be honest with you. The venue we had in Hackney Wick, property developers offered the landlord 5 million. And we had a lease, and what people are unaware of, especially in London, property developers have targeted London in particular in terms of development. And unless you own the land, you become a victim.
Okay.
You become a victim of circumstance.
Okay.
So there was a lot of minorities that had businesses in a lease arrangement that became victims, especially after the Olympics.
Okay, so you wasn't doing that again, basically.
I was one of those victims. So basically, I lost hundreds of thousands of pounds, in that transition, and I was looking for an opportunity. In that time, I started to serve in the community, and as a result of the killings, the young people, we were going through youth crime. We partnered with an organisation called Black Socks, who is basically an organisation, a consortium of black professionals that come together to service the community with programmes and projects. And we created an event called the Legacy Gala. Yeah, the Legacy Gala was born because we said we need to celebrate the achievements of black professionals and their colleagues. So we had an award ceremony component to it. It was a black tie event, a 5-star event in Chelsea Harbour, attended by over 600 people.
I know, I saw this. It looked incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing. We had
really
judges,
incredible.
Society of Black Lawyers. We partnered with Black Socks and Operation Black Vote. It was attended by actors, politicians, people in education and health services, police, and it was an outstanding event. Out of that was born our legacy brand, the movement, the foundation. And this opportunity came up in Chelmsford. It was a derelict building. It was sitting here for 8 months.
Wow.
There was basically there was damp coming through the roof. There was no electrics were condemned, no ventilation, no plumbing. And it needed a whole makeover. But by God's grace, we took over the project. We signed a deal, we took it over, and we moved over to Chelmsford. And right now, we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Voila! Here we are.
Yeah.
Love it, Marlo. And all I can say to you is that, you've done brilliant. You've done absolutely brilliant. And I could go on and on and on because there's so much aspects to you.
Yeah, we want to be an inspiration. I know, you've come a long way, but we want to let people know that we want to be an inspiration to the next generation.
Lovely.
We want to be a beacon.
Tell our cameras. No, tell our cameras.
We want to be a lighthouse. We want to be a lighthouse. So look, there's not many black venues that are owned by black people. Not that it makes a difference. Business is business, has no colour. But we would like to be a point of reference.
Yeah.
A lighthouse to say, look, if these guys can do it, we can do it. We're the only black venue in Essex.
Lovely.
I mean, owned venue.
Sure.
Operated venue. We're open to every ethnicity, but we want to be a lighthouse and
an inspiration
to everybody, but in particular the young people, minority people that are coming up. You know what I'm saying? So for me, and I thank God for what he's doing. We're doing other initiatives as well, like property internationally. We've got events that are coming up right through the year.
Sure.
Gala, the Legacy Gala again, the end
Sure.
of this year. We've got a boxing gala that we're affiliated
Yep.
to a lot of the boxing associations. We're
Sure.
doing a lot of things all over the place. So,
Okay. Well, Marlo, all I will say is, for those out there, I mean, sorry, Marlo, we're going to have to...
no, I appreciate that, and I thank you for coming.
No, it's been incredible. Marlo, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
There's so much to you, and I'm so excited about it and look forward to seeing a lot more in the future.
Thank you.
So viewers, remember you are watching Moments with Maxine. If you want more information in regards to what Marlo Morris is doing in the community, by all means, please contact Moments with Maxine. But until next time, see you soon. Stay blessed.